Yeah. Bounce. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going into our third and final game of today. And, yeah, it's going to be between the two teams that actually lost earlier on. So, quite fitting, really, that one of them, at least, will come away with a victory today. And, well, unfortunately, the other one will be going 0-2. It did seem like at least AVANGAR had a much bigger chance of actually winning their game. And they have gone into Mirage, which, if anything, going onto that more sort of pug style of map could actually benefit them, because they have looked like, well, at least aim-wise, that they've been on point all the way through the day. forZe definitely didn't really show up in a way that I would have liked to see. Their CT sub was pretty weak up until the last few rounds, and I do think that could be the same here again if we don't see little on that AWP as soon as possible. But, yeah. Either way, we're going to be going into the knife round, and we'll see what side they actually choose. It's likely that we'll see whoever wins the knife con to that CT side. Pretty much seems to be the prominent factor on whichever map actually comes in. Just gotta wait for this knife to be over and done with. Has to be said as well, AVANGAR's CT side, pretty poor. I don't really know what's going on here. Oh, it's just a nice little chase, but prison court. Oh, is this going to be one of those really long knife rounds? Really? Come on, guys. Oh, it's going to come down to the 1v1. There we go. There we go. And, yeah, it is going to be CT side start for forZe. And if they get off to a good start, maybe we'll get to see that little AWP coming out sooner rather than later. We are going to be into our pistol round. Didn't see much in terms of utility from AVANGAR at all in their initial pistol, so we'll see. No, it's just again, just straight in with the no utility buys, and it's all going to be about aim. And that's pretty much what this team seems to stand for. We will have Almeza picking up the smoke in a kit, so still a decent chance. And just look at the T's, completely spread out across the map. Pretty much same on the other side. Pretty basic in terms of going to be seeing T's just waiting patiently to see if they can spot anyone out early in this round. They've got quite a bit of mid presence as well, but the CT side aren't really overly challenging it themselves. Jerry is going to go for a bit of a peek, and it will be just a trade from the initial kill out from Buster. They've got to be careful because there is a man in dark, which they haven't actually spotted out yet. No reaction as of yet. Are they going to check? Yes, they are. Goodbye, Kabak. And Jane picks up 2. Still, a trade eventually comes in as well from Jerry, leaving it into a 3v2 situation. Will be able to turn the tide once again. Quicker, however, looking to finish alongside Demasik, and it will be AVANGAR who get themselves the pistol round. So, unlikely that we will get to see that early AWP out from the CT side, but maybe they can look to try and do something in this round with the pistol. Scout is going to be juggled over onto Little, who will actually buy up some armor behind it, so not really saving any money for that AWP early in these rounds. Going to be into middle. Nice shot from Little, and here we go already. 2 kills coming in. A dink onto James as well, who's now left very low on HP. Smoke having to be thrown out to try and defend it. Okay, we juggled around onto the healthier player. Still a good chance for the T's to actually win this round. He can pick up the third AK as well. Aid. Too much damage. Still 3 players left to deal with over on that T side. So it's definitely not out of the question that they'll turn this back around. But as long as they just play the trade game, it should be possible. However, it will be a free kill. Look at the amount of damage done. Little still just waiting with the scout. Easy headshot for him as well. Another comes in from Kebakan, and it leaves it all onto Dimasic. 16 HP. I think the best case here is that he actually just manages to hold on to his weapon. Seconds to just try and hold on. That's a shame. I must be a child. I type XD all the time. Doesn't actually show up in any chat. E. Okay. You guys are really salty. You need to calm down. All of you. All of you! Fuck your ideas up. One to one. B-side have invested back into this. James is going to be saving a little bit of extra money to try and get himself a scout. Orpy. No, not a scout. I just saw a scout on Little as he was holding it. He's saving up for an AWP. He's not saving up for a scout. I actually read the chat and whatever game's going on, but... Okay. Nice comment, bruh. T-side still have themselves an AK to play with. Now, Dimasic has actually managed to pull off individual rounds on Cash, we saw, where he was the only man with an AK. Eek. Middle. I may not expect the rifle to actually be in play at the moment on this T side. Mostly pistols. Of course, he did manage to save it for the previous round, so there is a chance that they'll expect it. MP9 in play. Dimasic does manage to get one, but this is a nice spot. Amazing, just managing to spin around, and he finds himself 2 kills. Has support as well from FaceCrack, who gets rid of the AK. And James, he only has a P250. He picked up an MP9, which is something at least, and he is going to try and get himself that bomb plant, which, if he gets, is a nice little bonus in cash. That's something at least for AVANGAR to play with. But there's no chance for him to actually win the round. It will be defused. 2 AKs now into the hands of forZe as well, very early into the game. And the T's, well, they'll get 1900 plus the 800 of the bomb going down. But I wouldn't really expect to see a buy going into this next round. It's much more likely they'll invest into a few pistols and get themselves something extra going into the next couple of rounds. There we go. There are those pistols. James already having enough that can get an AWP and some Kevlar as well going into the next. And Little has his right now. And, well, this is exactly what I wanted to see in the early rounds of the game. If forZe are going to win this, it has to be that man there picking up those early kills. In this round, at least, it's not anything too impressive. Lovely shot from Quicker. Little will be down within seconds. Actually, Buster's going to do some damage as well. This is a little bit more than the CTs really want to be losing. Of course, James is left with just a P250. He's still saving for his AWP, and Kebakan will finish him off without any real problems. So, 3-1. Now we get to see what's on offer here. James said he can get himself some Kevlar with an AWP. Still a little bit vulnerable to those M4s. The early nades thrown out from the CT side. They have an abundance of them. T's doing pretty well themselves, and already Quicker's going to get one, but it is through the smoke, and it's only a trade, as already Demasic has fallen to the AWP of Little, who's currently playing towards the back of CT, and there currently isn't a smoke for that position. It will go down eventually, and the wall of smoke should enable this T side to get the bomb down. And in fairly open positions as well. James is even going to catch a rotator out as Quicker now peaks aggressive and finishes off Face Crack. Another kill onto Little, who can't do anything more with the AWP. And Ameza is just going to have to try and save his weapon now. Kabak can buy, Little can buy. He can drop maybe a UMP or something, and then Face Crack can probably get something on the board as well. So it's not... Actually, no, if he drops the UMP, Jerry can buy himself probably a rifle or maybe a UMP and all the extra nades. So still, they lose this rifle. That's where the buy becomes quite a bit more difficult, and Almeza has to be very careful. Just going to try and hide in the corner. Here's all the footsteps, trying to just avoid the line of sight, but Crizzen will be there to finish him off. And now investment into the next round does become quite a bit more difficult. Kabakan still has a decent amount of catch. He can drop a rifle and buy one for himself. He's actually going to opt to go for an AWP instead. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think I would have rather seen just a single AWP and get an extra rifle on the board instead, but see, maybe they can make things work. Face Crack has a deagle in hand. 4T's already gathering up towards that A side of the map, and they're just going for an explosive push, trying to avoid all of these purchases. But there you go, Kabakan has actually done quite a bit of work with that AWP, and there's still a second one to help them out as well. Looking for the gap in the smoke. Jerry's already going to pick up one with a rifle and leave it into a 4 versus 2. CT side have worked wonders in this round, and now James is the only one left alive with his AWP. What can he do in this situation? There's 3 players left. The bomb isn't really planted for him either. It is open. He can spot it. It's going to be so difficult to find anything here, and now they already know his position as well. Well, actually, no, there is a kit. Never mind, Jerry has a kit, so it is going to be 4-2. The money not going to be too bad for the T's. They will be able to invest into the next round and actually have a reasonable buy, but far too backwards and forwards in these early sort of rounds. No connection from Quicker. Not normally the man you see with the AWP. May have just been based off timing that he goes for that early pick. Quick run down from Crizzen, and that's a simple shot for Little. Eventually the AWP will be dropped back over to Jame, but already lost that man advantage. Even the situation. Jerry is going to be looking to push down, and Quicker so good with the headshots, but it doesn't last long as that double ult setup is just working wonders still. Eventually it's one back, just the singular bullet needed for Quicker to pick up a kill, but once more, same situation. Jay, it's an AWP. There's 3 players left. They're not quite as stacked up as they were before. The bomb isn't down. Need to try and pick them apart, but well, caught with a nade out in the open. Gabakan's going to find that frag all day, and forZe now take themselves a 5-2 lead. It's not going to be a huge investment. Well, it can't really be a huge investment from this T side. It's interesting, though. You'd see them go down to $1,000. 2,400 leaves them with, well, 3,400 or 3,450 on the lowest player. And that's not really enough to get an AK, at least with head armor. Maybe over purchasing a little bit here. We'll see. A bomb plant will mean all of the point I've just made is completely void. They will have all of the finances needed to get AKs on every single player. Eastside really gathering up that lower spot. And as they go to boost, Jerry is waiting. Not looking like it's going to be a good round for them as Little now peaks P250 and picks up 2 headshots for himself. Bomb now attempting to go down, but there's so many players here. It's just not going to happen, and this is exactly what I was speaking about. The money Well, it definitely isn't going to be the best case scenario for AVANGAR, and all that extra investment becomes a little bit more worrying. Now, as said, they can afford the AKs without head armor, but that will leave their utility at a bare minimum. And I'm not liking this buy at all. I would have much rather they saved all that extra money in the previous round and then had a decent buy going in, rather than really leaving their buy to be quite skeptical going into this one. I'm seeing a little bit more probing in towards that B side. Almost a head lost for our Mazer. New boy in this team. Of course, that's something to mention when it comes to forZe. They are pretty much playing with a completely new player. He was in this roster before they were, but at least in terms of the team itself. Again, though, it is going to be the T's rotating back towards this A site. It hasn't been working for them. They've been really struggling to get the entries onto the site, and the double AWP setup has been something they've struggled with. In fact, you can see from the CT side, they're gambling a bit further over towards the A side, just based off the fact that so many times we've actually seen a push come in this direction. Money, still not bad for forZe. It's not great. It's enough that if they do need a rebuy, they can. And Jerry's position so deep in the site may not be expected at this sort of time in the round. 25 seconds. That bomb has to try and get out of Palace. If it's dropped, then everything just gets thrown into a whirlwind. But Jame actually running. Headshot gets the entry onto the site. That makes things completely different. It will be one kill coming in for the AWP, but still the advantage at the moment at least sits with the T side. Mazer had an opportunity there to get the kill, but can't find anything. We're going to see the boost up from Kabakan, but he's not able to get the kill with the AWP. And now Mazer is the only one left alive. 2 versus 1. Doesn't know the position of either of these players at the moment. Try tapping the bomb. Waiting for Jame to actually shoulder peek, but has no real reason to, as Krizen's already seen the bomb. And that will be a 6-3 score. And AVANGAR is going to be able to get one more. What team do I think will win the map? I think if AVANGAR get going, I think they should be the better team. I think individually they've looked incredible throughout the earlier games, even the one that they lost. And I just think it's a problem because both these teams keep switching players. Or at least we've seen one switch from forZe. That man there may be someone who can make a difference. I think it's going to be very close, but I'm going to edge the Kazakhstanians. Because they've impressed me a lot more so far, however little. Still doing very well. And at least so far on the T side, I don't think AVANGAR have been that great. Can they bring this round back? Quicker already tag low. The double op setup has definitely been something that's been a struggle to face off against. I don't think they should be tired after one map. I think that's a little bit excessive. If you're tired after one game, that's a bit of a loss. Even Flashbang, we're going to see Kabakan actually pick up the kill. He's been doing very well with the secondary AWP. We will see Demon Sick get one back. 53 seconds left. They're still looking to head over towards this A side of the map. They're pretty much all the way through the game. I don't even think they've made it onto the B side yet, which is quite worrying. There's 2 sides to every map. What can Demon Sick do? Absolutely nothing. Little is just too quick on the trigger. And once again, it's an AWP left at the end. Buster trying to do what he can to save this round. It's a 1 versus 3. And forZe looking to try and close it. Missed shot from Kabakan. Probably should have been an opening for him. Knows exactly where the remaining player is, though. No Molotov to clear him out of position, but with 3 players left. Wow. Anything he can do, and it will be forZe sending them back. And now, well, spoke about sort of AVANGAR getting going. It doesn't look like it's happening at all. 7-3. Money absolutely ruined. And now, well, realistically, I would say that they might as well just force into this one, because going into the next round, they're really not going to have that much money anyway. It won't be a buy, or it shouldn't be. Yeah, forZe played actually in the first map of today, which they lost 16-9. Either way, though, somehow Crizzen is actually going to win that opening duel. Push onto the site. Jame actually going to get another one. Somehow the P250 is doing quite a bit more damage than they should have done. Already an AWP dropped. forZe had a little break. Nice. That's an awful joke. Crizzen. That'll be all. Thank you very much. forZe 8-3. And T-side are going to do this again. It's one of those buys where they really don't have much cash, and I'm not a fan of it at all. I just think, realistically, okay, it's not that bad, but you don't have head armor, you don't have any utility, and you're basically just going for straight aim fights, which, as said, this is something this team's very good at, but really you want to be smoking out these AWPers. You want to be allowing yourselves to get much, much closer, rather than what they've currently been doing, which is just trying to take battles versus players who just have positional advantage and have an AWP, which is going to one-shot them every time. So, also, it's clearly denying Jame from getting on their AWP, and considering he's the man at the top of the board for your team at the moment, you have to be a little bit worried. Either way, Almeza, someone who wasn't doing particularly well earlier today, has been doing alright towards this B side of the map. He hasn't had much to do, it has to be said. Smoke is gonna fall. Crizzen looking to sneak through it, but he's the man with the bomb. They have to push through this now, and Almeza knows it. Lines up two. He's got support as well from Jerry, who's just going to be sat behind. Over towards short. Orb going to do a little bit of damage, and this is a nice crossfire from the CT side. Jame, I don't really know what he was doing. I think he was holding for rotations, but once your team starts to go down, that's where you need to make your move, not just sit back and wait. And because of that, now going to be into a 1 versus 4. Looking like he may be lagging a little bit. 70 ping. Hopefully that's not something that's going to affect him too much. Quasar. I'm pretty sure that's the name of Shroud's Fire Serpent. So maybe a fan. If he can have that same sort of headshot percentage. Unfortunately, it looks like he's just going to save. 10 seconds left in the round. Well, you say that, but they're all from Kazakhstan, aren't they? So 70, 33, 34, 38, 36. Yeah, it could just be they're both Pokemon fans. That is true. But I've never seen anybody else other than Shroud or someone who's watched Shroud call it Spray Quasar. Well, I feel like that would just be an incredible coincidence. Yeah, Adrian always has King with 100 ping. I really want them to bring out a good Pokemon game on Switch. If they do, I will play the hell out of that game. 9-3. Somewhat quasi-buy based around just the individual talent of Jame. And he's already dead, so it's not going too well. It has to be said. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. forZe looking very strong over on this CT side. Retakes have been decent. They haven't had to do too many. Now Buster. He's got the AK. Only one man actually left over towards the B side. Quite interesting that they've gambled so heavily, and especially when he's so low. Ame's already on the scene, but Quicket does manage to get one more. Still, the AK will survive in the hands of Buster. What can he do? Going to be ticking away. Double is really not great for retake scenarios. Little will be able to get one, but that is all, and I wonder if it may just be worth saving the AWP. Look at the money for the CT side. It's not going to be anything too good, and well, because of that, Bakken is actually going to run for the hills. It will be 9-4. AVANGAR managed to win off the basis of Buster's individual skill. He doesn't even have armor, and he's managed to get 3 kills with that AK-47. There may be a bit of a saving grace. Bomb plant and a lot of extra cash made up. Buster can drop that AK over. Actually going to drop an AWP instead over to James, so All that extra money will be put to good use. CT side, it should be fine to buy. UMP can be dropped over from Quebecan as well. And forZe. Still going to have that double AWP. Will it be as effective? The real question is, will the CT or T side have found a way to actually avoid it? And normally you'd think, okay, smoke setup. Create a wall, get the bomb down and fall back and just don't peek against those AWPs. Instead, they're going to challenge in mid and Little will take those fights all day long. He's happy to. Eventually, he's traded out. And actually, a couple of kills go the way of the T side. Somehow, they've taken a two-man advantage from what was such a nice start from forZe. I've still got AVANGAR to win this, but I don't change my predictions ever. However, CT side have definitely looked stronger. Whether or not sort of continue over on that T side, and the fact is T's now actually have the chance to win the last couple of rounds. What can Meza do? He gets one, just looking to try and use his positional play, but can't quite do enough. And now Quebecan, again, it's probably just gonna have to be a space where he looks to save the AWP. Run away. Well, now you have to sort of look at this as a sort of, okay, money's not going to be great for the CT side. 9-6 half, it's not bad at all. A pistol win for AVANGAR, and they can get off to a strong start on their CT side as well. Still wins, you're just a genius. You can read my mind from afar. This is what I mean, though. CT side, not really got the finances to do too much in this situation. Got a FAMAS, an MP9, and a few pistols. I would say that they're more of a CT side team. Based just off Little. Very good on the CT side. Either way. Team is sick. It's difficult. He does get the entry, but quickly traded out Jame on the AWP as well. And already a man advantage, but Little has managed to get himself an AK. If anything, the buy that they have at the moment is somewhat better than what we saw at the beginning. I think you read my mind wrong in that situation. Buster. They check over towards the truck. Meza, he has himself an MP9, which is not ideal. Player's going to be sneaking in. Game as well. Any idea? Are they going to call the fact they haven't actually cleared the truck? Meza should know that just surviving here will be worth so much more, and eventually he looks to pounce. And now it's back into a 1v1. Somehow he's turned the tide with the MP9. Goes wide peeking, but quicker. Well, quick by name, quick by nature. Head taken off, and does end what could have been an atrocious loss if forZe managed to steal that one away. Either way, a 9-6 half. Considering the start from AVANGAR, winning the last 3 rounds makes this half bearable at least. Definitely seemed like they were going for quite a lot of risky buys and didn't really ever stabilize their economy until the very end of the game. And that was only because they managed to break the economy of forZe, who were going heavy on the AWPs. Either way, now we get to see what they can do on the CT side. No investment into utility once again. They just don't really like it in these pistol rounds. On the other side of things, we're actually going to see a few smokes. Deem is sick, will peek out, spots one. Push going to be coming in an attempt through the connector. Middle smoke has actually been missed, which isn't ideal. Making quite a lot of noise. You can already see the back out. This is smart from Jame. Okay, you can have the window room, but I'm going to know you're there. I look to hold. Flip will be coming back in. A lot of position given up, but there's Jerry finding the opening kill. Bomb will be going down. You have to remember there's no kit. Trade will be coming in from Prison, but they've got to get their running shoes on. A lot of work to do. No saving extra 5 seconds from a kit. Little already going to be picking up one and the second with the P250 as well. Still, it goes back to a 2 versus 2. Aggression from Demasik. He knows he needs it. Spots out ahead of Kabakan as well, who doesn't really need to peek in this situation, but he doesn't know that they don't have a kit. And now Prison looking to bait him out down to just 6 HP. Kabakan just goes falling back. Smart decision from him, but goes for the wide peak once again. He's just baiting out that timer, and Prison knows it as well. Just looks to run away. Kabakan will win the pistol for his team. He loses his life at the end, but it doesn't even matter. The round will go the way of that T side. And not having a kit in that situation, well, it could have made all the difference. Spy will come in for AVANGAR. They've been pretty deadly with these pistols. And I'd never like when Little just goes for a P250. I know he's saving for an AWP, but you won the round. SMG's so much deadlier. We'll see whether or not it plays any factor into this round. SMGs have just gone running and gunning, and already they have complete control of the site. Jame is looking for the cross and hits the tag. It looks like they're just going to save, and I'm perfectly okay with this. Just try and keep what you have, bring it into the next round, and do some extra damage there, rather than trying to retake versus a team full of weaponry. He's also going to be denied a lot of money. You have to remember that not only do they get to keep their weaponry, but they stop the MAC-10 and the UMP, or the UMPs even, from making a lot of extra cash, which is always going to be beneficial. We will even see a couple of kills exchanged. A little bit of extra money for Kabakan. Little will go down. Could even buy his AWP in this round, but I'm hoping he does not, because that's one thing that going for an AWP in this sort of round is so risky, because if it falls into the hands of your opponent, well, it would just be awful. He is just going to go for a P250 and some nades once again. And still we'll have 3 players with a purchase. Now what can be done? Game going to be waiting towards middle. Still has the scout. Even some Kevlar behind it. Which should have enough for an AWP going into the next round as well. Push out straight up short. Bit of damage done. Quicker. And actually it's going to be a team kill, but probably the right decision here. Demasik on the site. Manages to get one more. Completely surrounded, however, and will go down in the end. And Little even able to save himself a scout as well. Here we go. This is where it comes down to crunch time. Jame only has enough for a glass cannon AWP. Scout actually going to be kept onto Little, which, if anything, it means it's basically an AWP v AWP battle, because no armor on Jame means the Scout is going to be that one-shot kill if he hits him in the chest. Still not for leg shot. And, of course, the head is always going to be one-shot kill, except through walls. Feel like I have to put an asterisk through that. 12 to 6. forZe needing 4 rounds. Still have a chance. There's a little bit of a bonus in here. They've got the UMP and the scout. They'll be able to buy in the next round anyway, regardless of what happens. Smoke thrown out. Control going to go completely the way of the T side at the moment, but the CTs aren't really challenging it. Nobody up on short. Seeing anybody in the connector either. They're just sitting back to the sites. Can work wonderfully. And all these positions are now being cleared by forZe, but Fact of the matter is, because it's not something that AVANGAR really want to challenge at all, it's just wasting time for the T side. And they're not being able to get any sort of picks whatsoever. Means that we're going to come right down to the wire. And I don't think the T side expected this at all. 25 seconds left. Going to come right down to their execution. It has to be perfect. Prison already starts things off. First kill goes his way. It is eventually going to be traded out. AK picked up, but the man now peeks in from short. And that's going to leave only 2 players left alive with 12 seconds. Nice hold from AVANGAR. A much more passive round from them. And they wait for forZe to go for their executions. And I have to be honest, this is where I think the T side falls a little bit flat for forZe. They don't have those sort of execution rounds where we see them just sort of work into them, throw all of those smokes, and then just take control of the map. They're much more of an aggressive team and a team that's good at waiting for picks to come in. So if nobody peeks, absolutely perfect. This time though, Wicket is going to be going for a little bit of a shot over the smoke and catches out FaceCrack as well. Little looking for a trade, but isn't going to be gifted it. And now the CT side just go back to that same setup once again. We'll happily fall back. We'll happily play on the sites. And you have to come to us. Hey, Jeffrey. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. Still a bit bunged up, but I'll be good. I'll be good. How are you? 12-7. It's going to do even more damage onto Almeza. Only 4 rounds needed for forZe, but not so sure it's going to be as easy as maybe the scoreline suggests. I'm sticking with AVANGAR. I've stuck with them all the way through. I'm not going to change my mind now. So far, the aggression's worked out nicely for them. Switching up the pace in the last couple of rounds. However, they don't want to overdo it here. They still have a man advantage. Quicket's in quite an aggressive position. As long as he goes 1 for 1, it's not too much of a problem. Picks out, but actually completely whiffs the spray. I think he's thrown off by the flashbang. And actually, another one's come in for Jerry. Maybe this will be over faster than I thought. Little. He drops the bomb over. James actually found another and misses the shot as he jumps in. Crizzen will save the round for AVANGAR. A backwards and forwards one. Now the CT side. This is where they start to struggle a little bit in terms of money. Luckily for them, the T side are even worse off for cash. Small investment into some pistols, bringing them down to around the 2,000 mark, although FaceCrack is quite far under, so he is sort of needing a bomb plant. That's actually not based off his purchases this round. He hasn't gone for a whole lot. Push through. T side, they're looking for the bomb plant. Quicker has played them like a fiddle. 4 players killed as he sits behind Sneaky Beaky. And well, that's just CS things. AVANGAR 3 rounds behind. Need to see something different from the T's. As said, never really been impressed by the T side from forZe. They rely quite heavily on the AWPer of Little. Get them those opening picks. Someone like Backing can step up and do a similar sort of trait. Nice early nade, already doing a lot of damage onto Little and Almeza. FaceCrack looking to try and peek in. Get that opening kill, and he will. There goes Demasik. Now we get to see a difference in round from the T side as they do get those openings. 2 kills go their way. James is going to be able to trade 1 back, but look at the aggressive position of FaceCrack. He's got all the way in from behind. Now the interesting thing is they still have players aggressive in apps as well. Okay, going to be picked up by Quicker as well. Now the rotation comes in. They know that FaceCrack can look to try and hold off these rotations as well, but peeks quite wide. Could have just sat back. Instead, it goes into a 3 versus 3. The CT side have much more of a chance of getting back into this round. Buster's still going to be leading the charge. Bomb is going to be planted. Can't really hit anything from here, but as they cross over, James turns it into a 3v2, an opening from Quicker, 1 versus 3, and the CT side turn a 3v4 into a 3 versus none, as the bomb will now be defused, and forZe, from a great position, is throwing it all away. Actually get a pause coming in from the T's. As said, haven't really been too impressed with forZe's T side, and I'm hoping they're going to come up with something a little bit more here. Personally, I'd like to see them get utility instead of just going for a buy. Of course, if they can guarantee a bomb plant, it won't be too much of a problem, and they are going to invest into this round. I do think that getting little on the AWP could make a big difference, and having all the utility as well, because you look at what they're going for in this round. 3 smokes, 2 flashbangs. That's not really anything impressive. Yeah. Demon Sick and Buster actually right down the bottom. That's quite surprising. They're normally the 2 players we look to, or at least Demon Sick. If they can wake up, who knows? Quicker, back to aggression. Once more, he gets that opening. He's been very impressive on this CT side of Mirage. Buster is actually going to fall back into the ladder room. Goes for a little bit of a pre-fire, but doesn't need to go overly aggressive here. No reason to. They have a man advantage. Boost actually going to be thrown in. Only gives them an angle onto short. Doesn't really help them removing Buster from his position. And as we know, they don't have any utility. They've got no Molotovs. They can't push him out. Going to take short control, but with Buster still in spot, they have to get rid of him. He actually goes for a peek instead. Plays the timing game perfectly. They have to be careful, though, in this window, as there's still face crack wrapping back around. He gets 1 and the second as well. Turns it into a 3v2. The round just became possible for the T side. But however, they don't have control of the bomb. And I don't really know why Kabaka's gone pushing out onto the A site. There's no real benefit there without that bomb anywhere near. 12 to 11. Only 1 round in it. And if the T's go for anything here once again, they're just leaving themselves more and more and more without that utility, without all those nades. A Molotov there, and the position of Buster is completely void. Instead, they are going to go for a bit of an investment. It still means that, well, unless somebody's going to drop the AWP, Little probably won't have one into the next round. It's still possible that Almazer will just give it in instead, hand it over. Once again, we see him at the bottom of the board. It was the same in the first matchup versus Spirit, the new boy on the block, the 18-year-old youngster. Really doing too much. Here we go. Prison through the smoke. Nice spray. Bomb will go down. So that's a nice boost to economy. Flank already coming in from Buster. And Kabaka just goes running into his open arms. Buster hoping for more frags like that. Thank you very much. Is FaceCrack going to do the same? Yeah, he is. Sure. Okay. Buster will take those ones all day. And yeah, this is just simple cleanup. Only 1 man left. Little hoping to try and hit them with the scout. Instead, Quicket will pop his head from a distance. And will be a flawless round. Only a little extra time bought so that AVANGAR can go and pick up some pistols. But a bomb plant is all the T's really needed. They've got an abundance of cash. More money than they can even spend. Without dropping extra weapons, which they don't really need to do. Still no AWP, so this is an active choice now. To not go for an AWP. Little not wanting it on the T side, which I think limits their game quite a bit. Buster actually going to jump straight down into the underpass as well. He's going to catch off Jerry. He's got support. Are they going to go for more? Yes, they are, and he still gets a second. Will they actually trade Quicker as well? Nice double down. 2 versus 4 already. Anything that had come up in strategy forZe in this round is gone within seconds as they hope to set up. They take that tactical pause. They go, guys, what are we going to be doing? Let's come up with a plan. Let's think about what we'll be doing in this round. Let's write it down. Let's have a nice little strat. And then instead they're rushed through underpass and ruined within seconds. That's left all onto FaceCrack. And he can't do anything. 3 players will survive. 13-12. The comeback of 7 rounds in a row is on. And I'm feeling more and more confident about my prediction the more this game goes on. T-side will still be able to buy. They had a little bit of extra cash after the bomb plant in the previous round. But the CT side have now started to bring a lot of cash themselves. Aggressive peek out though. Crizzen this time will be punished. That opening pick, there may be some light at the end of the tunnel for forZe. Definitely not a scenario they'd hope to be in, and Buster already going to turn things back. How does he get 2? He almost gets a 3rd as well. Are they going to check? Quicker has already used this angle. They have to check, and they do. Not this time, Ameza says. Now the rotation going to be coming in from Dimasic. Nade. Take a kill, but does some extra damage at least. Molotov thrown, but the bomb's going to be planted onto short. Rotation will be coming in from Jame as well above. Flashbang out. Gives his spot away. Ameza doesn't really need to peek this angle. Could just hold it, but both players peek out. And it will be forZe to take a round, but this is where the potential reset comes in. It's been 7. This is the first buy round that's actually been won by forZe. All the others were based off the pistols. Little is going to be picked up an AWP, so it's weird, because in the last round they decided they didn't want to take it. This time they've decided they do. And instead, there's going to be 2 coming back against them quicker. Once again, going to be jumping up above. Again, looking to set up towards this B side of the map, but Buster is waiting with an AWP. Looking to go quite aggressive here, and he hits that first shot. Little has found one in middle, and actually the bomb's going to go rotating towards the A side of the map. They may be caught on the rotations here. This could work really nicely, but instead, ooh, Crizzen gets FaceCrack down to just 10 HP. However, it's not a kill. Jane looking to peek out. Jerry's got another. They may have just looked to save this right towards the end of the game. CT side money, probably still enough that they can get something. Dimasic do here? Can he save this round? Picks up the first. Okay, back I'm going to peek in to look for a trade, but can't get anything done. Rotation from Buster as he does look to peek towards short. And he takes down Little as well. Leaving this into a 2 versus 2. Somehow, the CT side are looking to try and make this work. Kabakin is going to be waiting above. Almost losing the duel. The Molotov looking to try and clear him out of position. Both players incredibly low. 18 HP between them now. And Buster has a Molotov too. He could just end this with that one nade, but instead, he's going to go peeking. He's going to go looking to try and clear the angles. They do find the kill. Now all they need is that Molotov. I don't know why he's not throwing it out. Instead, he'll look to hold on to it. He's given a chance to the T players. Instead, the fake defusal comes in, and Dimasic will win the round. Very, very close. That one nade could have been enough to end it right there, but they win the fights anyway. Bomb plant does give some hope. They will have a bit of money. They're going to risk it. Decent amount of utility for the T's, but nade's not going to be ideal. Prison will take a little bit of damage early. (14-13). A win here from the CT side should win the game. Money won't be enough. At the same time, though, if the T's can steal this one away, the CT side don't have that much cash either. Maybe they can turn this game back on its head. Only a single AWP now. Jump peek. A lot more riskier than it used to be when we had all those lovely, buggy models. There we go. That's the spot. Lost actually goes for a second jump. Quite risky. Molotov going to be thrown out. We'll deny them at least a little bit of time. That's quicker for support. These may not be dedicated to the B side of the map just yet. They've got 45 seconds to make their decision. Of course, they can just go through underpass if necessary. You could say this is a roller coaster of emotions. Once again, Buster. Now, this spot has been played multiple times. He's actually going to peek out wide. Gets one and a second. Looking for a third, but can't quite capitalize. Still, he's done enough. Now, Quicket, the man on the site, only needs to trade. Stay alive as long as possible. They catch out Jerry from behind. Now Quicket has the confidence to peek, and James is there to support him. 4 players survive for the CT side, and the Ts are going to be left with nothing to try and face back with in this final, or possibly final round of the map. T-side with only pistols. Looking like maybe setting up for an A hit here. Going through the underpass as well. Man in Palace, bomb over towards a mid spot, jumps down, but actually Demon Sick is going to go a little bit over aggressive. Somehow the pistols seem to be working here. Quicker will at least be able to get one, but he's down to 1 HP. Literally on his last legs. Prison. They have an awful lot of work to do here. Be waiting for the push through connector. Somehow Quick has managed to get another one. Prison caught jumping. Not sure what's going on there. Little trying to cross. Still wins the duel. Comes back to a 2 versus 2. Couple of low players. Somehow Quick has managed to survive this long. I don't really know how. You have to be wary of the orb. He's going to go on a long rotation. Try and get himself back towards ramp. Be on a very quick flank if necessary. James, just looking to try to buy as much time as humanly possible. Interesting to see that Kabakan actually hasn't managed to get himself a rifle yet. Quicket coming in from behind. This may not be expected so soon. He's so quick, and that's going to be little down. Finally, Kabakan now has himself a rifle, but he's the only man left alive. Going to look to try and rotate back towards short. There is still a smoke as well, so James can use that for the bomb. Throw it in, peeks above, and that will be it done. The comeback is achieved. Only 1 buy round picked up on the whole of the T side from forZe. It is their CT side which is strong, and once again, the T side that lets them down. AVANGAR will come back and win 16-13, a turnaround from what we saw in the previous matchup, and that will be it to end tonight. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed the game, don't forget you can always follow me on Twitter by typing !caster. Don't forget to check out Hellcase. You can, of course, influence the amount of prize pool that goes to the teams you know and love. And, of course, if you haven't already, follow Starladder. Brilliant organization. I love them to bits. Either way, it's been a pleasure. I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys.